January 2nd, it is 2025. We are here. We're starting to see a little bit of those pumpamentals we've been hoping for, we've been waiting on, and we're starting to see it play out in the charts. You can hear it from my voice. Man, did I have a good New Year's and New Year's Day. Got a bunch of rest yesterday. I think I got something in my throat, but the market's looking green. We got some things to talk about. We're going to be diving into these charts here in just a moment. I'm just going to go ahead and get this retweeted over on Bitlab Academy's Twitter page at Academy Bitlab through the live stream that we see over there on my page at Kelly Kellum. Man, my voice is gone. But let's go ahead and get this retweeted. We're going to be jumping in here in just a moment. Hope you're all doing well. Happy New Year. Let's get into it.
Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump. Altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish out there. It's not our fault. Blame the cult. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping. Altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We are hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pump.
It's time to dive into this. We got sharks to look at. We got TA. What levels?
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
We see this completely setting up for the most bullish 2025 year. Let's get into it. Let's go. Happy New Year, everybody. We made it through 2024. We are here with the start of the year. You know, we had a little bit of a taste of this just before, but the start of the year, what are we seeing? We're seeing a little bit of a breakout here. It's starting to clear this first line that we had here that I talked about in the BitLab Discord as well, and also on the member stream that I did on, I think, I can't remember, what day is it, Thursday? So this must have been Tuesday morning, but this is clearing. This is the next step up here, that $100,000 mark, followed by 103, followed by 108, and then ultimately making our way up here into this 114 and beyond. This is what we're looking for right now. What is going on? Is this potentially a little bit of a bull trap that is still going to send down and clear into this 86, 80, 85 to $87,000 mark? And if we lose that, are we going down to 77? That's a possibility, but this is feeling good. We're starting to see signs of life like we wanted to, and we're seeing, you know, pretty good, nice little pumpage across, I was just looking at some stuff here, pumpage across the market. We're back up over $3.4 trillion. Bitcoin pushing right towards that $2 trillion mark. Ethereum right here about almost 420 billion. XRP back up to about 138 billion, securing that number 3 spot. BNB 101 billion, with Solana nipping at its heels at 100 billion. Of course, Dogecoin still standing up here at $50 billion market cap for a meme coin. But we got some things to talk about, so we're going to dive right on into it. I apologize. I'm going to be, when I talk loud, it makes my voice hoarse. So I'm just going to give you that the Barry White voice today. I'm just going to talk calmly. We're going to be going through some of these things. Now, what do we really need to see if we want these markets to go higher and higher and higher? Well, unfortunately, we need to see the dollar starting to pull back. And what do we see? The US dollar is now the most overvalued in history, according to Bank of America. So is this telling us, is there a setup for the dollar to start pulling back? Now, what does this mean? We're not talking about money printing. We're not talking about, we're talking about the valuation of the dollar. when there's risk off mentality, people they basically cash out their assets into dollars. That pushes the dollar up. When people go risk on, they start selling their dollars. That's what you have to realize. That's what you're doing when you're buying Bitcoin from when you move money into Coinbase, like your US dollars or wherever you're at in the world. When you are buying from your fiat currency to that asset, you're actually selling that asset. So when you're buying Bitcoin with dollars, you're selling the dollar. So if the US dollar, remember, we did see a little bit of pressure on Bitcoin over the last couple of weeks after it hit 108 and pulled back. But if we're seeing dollar overvalued, these tend to rotate back to getting down to a point where it becomes undervalued. And this period from right here, this period from here to here is when you're seeing assets really move. This period from here to here, assets really move. This period from here to here, assets really move. So is this giving us a little bit of a canary in the coal mine? Well, I want you to be patient because I have some super, super bullish charts that I want to show you, but we can't just be moon boys. We've got to look at some of the data that does give us some indication of things to come. And maybe it's at the end of the year, maybe it's next year, maybe it's 3 months from now, but we've got to balance our approach to both the bullish and the bearish pressures that could be on the market. By the way, everybody that's tuned in, welcome to BitLab Academy. My name's Kelly Kellum. I'm just a member of the community here with you. I might be the one on camera, but we all do this together. I'm here to bring you important, meaningful tools, content, resources, and of course, community. And all of you are part of this community. Shout out to our channel partners here, CoinW, NordVPN, and Arculus. I'll share some of those links later in the middle of the show, before we get into the real deep TA section. But everybody, if this is your first time here, I can guarantee it's not gonna be your last. Join us here in the family. Join us here on the BitLab membership. Join us in the BitLab Academy. Remember, the price is still under $100,000. So due to the fact that the price is still under $100,000, that link right below is still active, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Now let's continue on. We got some data we got to go over, baby. Let's go. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell. All right, now what are we looking at? Well, 21 countries, not 1, not 5, not 8, not 12, not 17, 21 apparently are considering Bitcoin strategic reserve. And it's not just a news headline. We're seeing meaningful steps being taken, like places in Switzerland, now one step closer to adding Bitcoin to reserves. Remember, Switzerland, they are very big international banking. So this is a sort of core element change. It's not like some random country in South America or another random country in Africa. No, this is part of that global elite banking puzzle piece, and this is amazing. So this is, continuing that bullish ball rolling. And then you move on. People are wondering, but the price is high. Could it top out here? Just again, I know you guys have seen different versions of this, but let's just go over this. All cycles align perfectly, and it doesn't matter if it's 2013, where it's considered funny internet money back before people really believed in it and the market cap was exponentially lower, or if it's 2025 where big institutions are loading up. Look at this trend line. This is the market cycle peaks and their bear markets. Look at this, market cycle peak, bear market. Market cycle peak, look at this. This is just incredible how these line up. And then when you look at where the breaking of previous all-time high, breaking of previous all-time high, breaking of previous all-time high, from this point, it's roughly 12 months to have that absolute life-changing opportunity if you know how to navigate it. And that's why we're here. That's why we're all here together. But do we have 12 months? Do we have all the way maybe until December? Is it going to be a little shorter? When do you think? I want to know, everybody right now. Type in the comments or comment down below if you're watching later. What month do you think we're going to get the peak? And I'm not talking about a mid-cycle peak. I'm not talking about like when we saw, for instance, let's come back over here. Why can't I go there? There we go. Hold on. I'm not talking about where is it? Cycle progress. Here we go. I'm talking about you see this right here. I'm not talking about, you say the peak is in April. Yes, this is a peak, but this is the peak of the cycle. I think it's likely we get something similar to a combination of this and this cycle here. I don't think we're going to get this nonsense like we saw this last cycle. I think this is more of an error or a divergence from the pattern that we will see. I think we're going to see a pretty strong price movement likely into March, April, maybe into May, but I think either price cools off and goes sideways with some dips or whatever, or we get a pretty substantial pullback. It kind of depends on how fast we move in Q1. But I do think the cycle top, my assumption is the cycle top will be sometime between into September to middle of November. So, I mean, I guess you could just say October, but I think it'll be in that time frame that we're going to get the cycle peak. The question's going to be, what is the timeline between now and then of different nation states or different major Fortune 100, Fortune 50, Fortune 10, meaning the top ranked by market cap companies globally? What's going to be the process for them integrating Bitcoin? How does this all unfold over this year? Because it, depending on when that happens, will create different buying pressures on some sort of scheduled basis, for some period of time that's established by each one of these nations or companies, so on and so forth. So we may not see this massive drop, 85% drop. Maybe we push up and we get a 40% or a 60%. Or I don't think it's just going to turn into the stock market where it's like 20% is a major dip. No, the market cap is still peanuts compared to what you see in the larger equity and commodity asset classes that are out there. So what we're doing right now is we're preparing for our future. So let's not jump at everything, because what we're at right now, even if, remember I talked about the potential pullback to that 77,000, this would represent, boom, just retesting this previous range high. So that wouldn't be ultimately too bearish. It would scare the life out of all of us because we just want it to go up. I think that's less likely. I think more likely is between now and January 20th. I think we may get a little bit of trepidation in the market, but I think it's more likely, as we've seen, the persistent trend here is when you have a strong bull market, the bias is going to be up. And I don't mean like a bias as an individual, I want it to go up. The bias is when you get corrective movements, they create buying opportunities. So everybody, let me know, is my voice completely destroyed? Does it sound okay over there? Because it's feels very rough here. And then we see here, Morgan Stanley, $1.5 trillion Morgan Stanley is discussing offering Bitcoin and crypto trading. And I believe it's through their E-Trade platform. They own E-Trade, kind of competing with that narrative that Robinhood does. Is they're probably now realizing we are leaving so much money on the table by not offering this to our clients, as well as, it's becoming a persistent global good to participate in crypto. So is this, guys, the stories, the platform, the bullishness is here. If you can see the forest through the trees and realize that these corrective movements, they're literally only there to make you doubt yourself. So you do give up your capital to somebody else that's there ready and waiting. Shout out everybody. Green Day Prophet says, you sound good, brother. Granny's Garden, how you doing? Multi-sig dummy, Manny Walk. Let's do a roll call right now. It's January 2nd, 2025. If you're here, if you're alive, if you can type on your computer, if you're type in there roll call. Let me know where you tuned in from, what city, what state, what country. Are you bullish or bearish for January? Let me know. Let's see who's alive, who's active. If you're watching on Twitter, shout out to all you folks too. We got about 600 or so people watching right now between the two. And just a reminder, we do giveaways throughout the week. If you want to participate in those, all you got to do is head over to my Twitter right here. Make sure you're following me at Kelly Kellum. And of course, it's also shared on the @Academy BitLab page, but hit this retweet, hit this like button. We just gave away some shirt and an Arculus wallet, about $150 value on the last stream we did. So everybody get active, show some love. I do appreciate you. And hit the like on the stream if you're watching on YouTube as well. Now, continuing on, what else we got? This is where we get a little bit of, I don't want to pour water on the fire, because for crypto, for Bitcoin, I'm still very bullish, but you have to remember Bitcoin does not live in a vacuum in the global marketplace. It's still very heavily tied to the risk on, risk off narrative, like tech stocks, kind of like when it's risk off, people pull money out and they put it into precious metals or, cash deposits, all kind of different things. Safer, longer term, low risk investments. However, at any point between now and the next 5 years, there's no telling when it's going to be. Bitcoin will cross that chasm, and it will truly become any risk narrative, because it is the best asset in the history of the world. But the majority of people that are still, especially now, getting involved, they look at it as something that they need to trade like a risk stock. So the reason I bring that up is the delinquency rates on commercial mortgage-backed securities for offices jumped to a record 11%. Well, who cares about this? We are trading Bitcoin and crypto and stupid coins like Fartcoin and Butthole Coin. I hope none of you are buying that nonsense. But if you do, hey, everybody can buy and trade whatever they want. But delinquency rates on these loans is now up over 9%. Why does this matter? This puts delinquency rates above 10%. Cool. Why does that matter? Okay, but overall, there are more than $2 billion in office loans that became newly delinquent in 2024. Commercial real estate, this is major. This is a major component of the national economy here. Now, when you scroll down here, small banks hold nearly 70% of these loans, these delinquency loans, AKA they're not getting paid back. And if they are, it's going to be pennies on the dollar. We've seen real estate properties in New York and a lot in San Francisco and Seattle, all these areas that previously sold for $1.2 billion being sold for $75 million, $200 million. Pennies on the dollar, meaning that there's a huge amount of loss being absorbed by these small banks. Remember what happened, was it almost 2 years ago now, when we had the 4 largest banks in history crash? Well, 70% of these loans is just going to be something where, it's like these are the same banks that nearly collapsed during the regional bank crisis. This is what I was just talking about. This could be something that could have a major impact on the economy, whether you care about real estate or not. So I'm just saying this, as bullish as we are everywhere we think this is going, we have to pay attention to this when we're looking ahead, because what if we're expecting that the top of Bitcoin, if you're expecting the top of Bitcoins in October, but the entire commercial real estate and crashes, we have a couple bank delinquency crashing, that would spill over into how the economy would absorb it, and also what will be going on with those various different assets, probably some downside action. So that could cut short where ultimately we were expecting the top to be. I bring this up as a planning mechanism, an awareness mechanism, that no matter what your strategy is, you got to be Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. You got to make sure you have your target timeline, but what is your exit contingencies beyond just the time frame? Because there are bigger things at play than just Bitcoin being the best asset. It's still tied to these market ebbs and flows and these shifts in wind, especially with what goes on in this economy. Now, continuing on, we also see home building, similar to what we're talking about with commercial real estate. Home building stocks are a good leading indicator of the stock market. They've been declining despite the bounce of the S&P 500, indicating that the market weakness might not be over. This is S&P 500 in black. And what do you see? It's just kind of persistent up. Remember, we were talking about this kind of head and shoulders pattern, which is kind of brewing on the S&P 500. Well, look, this pushed up while this home building stocks have been crashing, kind of an indicator of what's happening with, there's millions of homes on the market right now that nobody's buying. So of course, the building is going to slow down because you're not even able to sell the stuff that's there. And yet at the same time, they say there's a housing crisis here in the US. It's really fucked. And I apologize for the language, but it really is fucked with how all these things are like. Part of it has to do, I think, with hedge funds buying houses, and people can't afford the houses that are out there, but they're slowing down home building because people can't afford the new houses and nobody's even buying that. So this is an indication, kind of furthermore, as bullish as I am on the crypto market, we have to pay attention to this. As obscure as you think it is, this can be a canary in the coal mine that may not happen if this all crashes, Bitcoin crashes the next day, but it will give an indication, especially with these bigger money financial powerhouses that are involved. They're going to look at this and also hedge into this sort of scenario as well. So just a little bit of a warning in all the bullishness, and almost everything else here is going to be bullish. This is one more that's not bullish, but this is a real estate market going into crash within the next 2 years. Again, this could be a little bit of doom and gloomer by seeing this, but it could be well after this bull market season. Millions of homes are for sale across the US, with many homeowners filing for foreclosure due to unbearable loans, insurance prices, and more. So will this be bigger than the 1921 crash? We'll have to see. We have a lot of different mechanisms and components now, so maybe not. But this is just, again, a little bit of bearishness just to bring. Remember, I try to tell you, I'm not going to be a moon boy. I'm not just going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to show you the data, and I'm going to show you what I think is going to happen, and you can take it as you will. I think Q1 is going to be ultimately bullish. I think January we're going to end very green. I think we're going to have a top sometime in around October of this year. You know, it could be plus or minus a month, but we're going to be following this every day. But we're looking at the greater economic impact, how it could impact what's going on with the crypto investment narrative moving forward. So as bullish as we are at the beginning of this year, we need to start also with a little bit of hedging, or I don't even want to say hedging, a little bit of just awareness of the counterpoint, just so we don't lose our heads in this market. So moving on from there, it's time to get bullish. Let's do it. Let's get into it. This is what I'm talking about right here. Is the top anywhere in sight? No, cycle top is in sight according to the Bitcoin power grid until a hit of 100%, which is still only a first cycle top signal. First cycle top, well, look at 2013. This is that same that I showed you on this other chart right here. That first cycle top. We'll come back over here. Where are we at? First cycle top hit 100. We had the pullback and then kind of bounced right here on 60% power. Back to full power. We got that next cycle top. Here, look, right at where the cycle top was. Perfect. Right at where the cycle top was, or just before it. Perfect. Look at where we're at. We're nowhere close to this. This has happened in every cycle so far. So I would say the consistent pattern of this would suggest that we have a lot of room to grow. Does that mean we can't have dips along the way? Does this mean that we can't dip to 77 or even below that? No, it doesn't mean that. I think that's the smaller possibility now. Remember, we still have a CME futures gap at $78,000 to $80,000, but I'd kind of guess that at this point, if we continue pushing up, especially if we break past 108,000, I would expect that we would close that CME futures gap probably in the next bear market, basically retesting previous range highs, which would be here at about $74,000 to $77,000. So what we're looking at right here is kind of the dip, but look at this. It's starting to round back out. I think we're going to start to get that move. And then it's also substantiated by looking at this. The biggest bull run in history starts in January. Bitcoin has formed a bullish cross, setting the next target for $250,000. But let's see why. In 2021, I spotted the same pattern and turned 500 into 155,000. But what he's looking at here is this bullish cross. Boom. This was, yes, we already had the move up into this, but this was also what drew these moving averages to wrap back around. And when we get, boom, that's where we launch. Look, same thing, dip. We had that round back around and then launch. Okay, we had the dip right here. Round back around. Are we going to launch from here? We've already got a little bit of the move coming up. The question is going to be what we're doing between now and when we take profits versus selling at a loss because you're scared it's going to go down. Now is not the time to do that. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just how we see these markets play out time and time again. People sell here because they're scared only to have it launch. People scale, this pushes up, this dips to here. People are selling here and then it launches. Do not get chopped out by any of this because you're not locked into the data rather than just staring at the price. Now, continuing on, what else we got, baby? We got everybody chatting in here. I love it. I need some positivity, homeboy. Morning all. Hey, it is positive. I just want to say, every one of you, we're starting this year. We got a lot more charts. Don't worry. I want y'all to throw some altcoins in the live chat too. We can dive into some of those here in a couple minutes. But I want y'all just to remember, take stock of your life. Take stock of what you have. I don't have anything. You got legs, you got arms, you got fingers, you got breath. You got the ability to be in a market like this before 7.5 billion people, and sometimes you still think you're not lucky. I buy this coin, it drops. I say, well, your strategy's fucked, and that's what we're here for, is to make sure that you can fix that. You have the ability to learn. You have the ability to grow. You have the ability to persist. If you fail, it's not over until you quit. We have the ability, it's the beginning of the year, to launch into this year with love for ourselves, with love for others, being kind to others. But you can't be kind to others unless you're kind to yourself first. So let's start this year with love. Let's start this year with positivity. Anything, even if somebody wronged you last year, let it go. Who cares? It was something that they needed to do, even though it was wrong. Something they needed to do for some whatever malaligned reason that made them feel good. And even if it was a wrong, people don't do things to specifically hurt you. They do things because their priorities are out of alignment, and for whatever reason, it did a good for them that they perceived was good. So let's let go of all that nonsense. Let's jump into this in love and freedom and excitement and ambition. We are here together. We are a family. I love you guys. I appreciate you all. Everybody hit that like button. Falco gifting 5 memberships. Hey, Giver's Game, my brother. I appreciate you so much. Now let's continue on here. We got some more data to look at, because we're also concerned with our, oh yeah, sorry, I just got lost in the live chat there. I don't know, I accidentally hit that, my bad. Bad Fox, what's up? We're all concerned about what's going on with altcoins as well. So let's take a look. Bitcoin dominance is setting up for what could be, yeah, Sparrowhawk, that's a good question. Can you talk a little bit about Bitcoin to alts and approximately when? Yeah, absolutely. We can talk about that here in a few minutes, because this is what we're seeing right now. In this move right here, when the dominance is going up, this is when Bitcoin is predominantly making more gains than a lot of the alts. Some alts outpace this. Solana, for instance, had a massive gain from its low to where it's at, but a lot of alts have had big moves and come back kind of round tripped in these mini cycles. But I do think whether it's in January or February, I do think we're going to start seeing some massive gains in the altcoins. And it's outlined by this chart. It's Bitcoin dominance, PTC.D. Then you have, this is just how you pull it up when you're on TradingView, for instance. Watch, you just click on the background, BTC.D. See, I just want to tell you, a lot of you may have not seen it, but if you come over here to Bitlab Academy, I just want to show you. Make sure, every one of you, let's set some records today. Make sure your thing says subscribed. Click here, turn on the notifications. You're going to get access to some things that I post out, little Easter eggs that I only leave up for a few minutes sometimes if you're not a BitLab member. And also if you're a BitLab member, make sure your notifications are on so you see those. But if you come right here, you go down to Daily Alpha right here. Just scroll down. That's all you have to do. Look, scroll down. Come here, watch this Pro Trading View guide. I know how to use Trading View. I have sat behind 400 different people, including trading and crypto experts. And I watched them use TradingView. I'm like, you guys do not know how to use TradingView. So this is a 12-minute video. It gives you so many tips and pointers. But coming back, what I was just showing you is if you click on the chart, you don't have to come up here and click on this. Just click on the chart. You can change the time frame. Watch, 5. That's 5 minutes. If I want 5 months, I do that. If I want 5 days, 5D. Boom, changes it. If this is all out of wonky like this, and I see people going, hold on, where's my mouse? I see people going like this. No, stop doing that. Double click on it. Automatically goes to auto mode. And then, okay, you want it out auto mode, just drag it just a touch and you can put it wherever you want. Now you want to change the chart, just click on the backdrop. BTC, just start typing, boom, pulls it up. Couple quick little tips and tricks there. But we're seeing this. This is the Bitcoin dominance here. Oops, we've had this. Why is this too big? There we go. We've had this persistent sort of resistance line. Boom, boom. We broke out of it. It's just different this time. Well, is it? Currently, yes, we are above this. But I also have this mapped out somewhere in here. I might have deleted it. All right. Right here. Yeah, this is Bitcoin dominance minus USDT. So it shows it a little better. I could probably subtract USDC as well. The point is, we've had this. This is when Bitcoin's really running. We've had that sort of breakdown. We've had the breakdown, but within that breakdown, where is it at? Too many damn Bitcoin. There we go. We've had this rising level of support, but look, this is broken down and currently look at this bounce, almost on that previous resistance, now trying to kind of flip to support, but look at this boom right up into this rejection. A rejection here is what we want to see for altcoins. We want this to reject because this is saying capital is starting to get more comfortable flowing into altcoins. And there's a lot more coming in. It doesn't mean Bitcoin will be going up, altcoins will be going up, but this could be going down because you start seeing those massive runs in altcoins, like we just saw in the last day or so with this pump. Some of those altcoins are really running. Look at this. Now it's changed now, but this was like 15% up, 18%. Dog Bitcoin making some moves here. It was up over about 24%, but as it's 24-hour chart, so that these change. But yeah, markets are doing some pumpage while at the same time, Bitcoin's only up about 3%. So when you see Bitcoin up 3%, see, look at this. Fartcoin. I hate talking about this because I just think it's stupid for the space, but more power to anybody that's making money on it. 46%, 32%, 17%, 17%, 50%. This is showing alts. And of course, they're much smaller market caps, but you're having a huge amount of alts making larger gains than the Bitcoin gains. Both of them gaining. This would lead to that drop in Bitcoin dominance. That's why we pay attention to it. So when we see this, breaking down, pushes right up into it, and then you really get the move. Similarly, you look at ETH. It's a great metric for like the OG blue chip altcoin. We see market cycle top. This is where it broke out from. Look, found support, boo. But the breakout from here was correlated right when the Bitcoin dominance met its resistance and actually broke down. So here's a cycle top. Boom. Look at where we're at. We just had that rejection. Are we going to get that? And this is the others chart, which is everything in the altcoins outside of the top 10. Happy New Year, Bitcoin Bandicoot. I appreciate you. Top 4 bags for me. Sparrow. I don't know. I guess somebody's name is Sparrow. Ondo, Arrow, Velo, Nero. Hey, it's some good coins. You know, guys, I shared a post the other day. It actually surprised me. I shared a post 2 days ago, 3 days ago, this right here. And nothing, just some coins I like. 100, almost 140,000 views. I guess people like these coins, or people are like, all right, you're holding what I'm holding, or I don't know. But and I mean this, I don't think they're going to be exclusively the top runners, but I think all of these are going to be among the top runners. In fact, I think Dog Bitcoin will be in the top 3 meme coin runs in this cycle when people start becoming aware of this, especially when it starts getting listed on tier 1 exchanges, because this has flipped so many huge altcoins. And I mean, there's 100,000 holders. Every token's out. There's no new coins coming out. There's no major holder that from the development team that can rug it. This is the opposite of every meme coin out there. It's a culture coin, and it's on the Bitcoin network. It's a Bitcoin meme coin. Again, I hate the term meme because this is a culture coin, and it carries almost all the principles that Satoshi Nakamoto had for Bitcoin. All the tokens, the way it's distributed, and the fact that they're not paying any KOLs. There's nobody that they're paying. Me, Matthew Hyland, we just like this. We're like, we're going to bring this to the people because this is a coin for the people, by the people. That's what this is about. And the fact that this is not listed on tier 1 exchanges yet, and you're seeing these dog shit meme coins out there getting listed because one of the developers held a lot of their own token supply that then they could pay those exchanges. Dog will not do that. So when this does get listed, and I'm sure it will because it carries the principles of Bitcoin, you're going to want to be in before that. So just note that. I'm very excited to see what this does over this next couple of years. Very excited. And I mean that. And again, there's no association. It's just, I looked at all the fundamentals on this and what forgetting the word meme coin, this is solid token setup, especially going into this year. So coming back over to what we're looking at here, boom, coming back. Others also ready for liftoff. And I've been stacking. I've been waiting. I've been doing it. I've been trading. Sometimes it just takes the right moment, and you got to be there for that moment or be in before that moment. So many people, they're just so scared, and then it starts going, and they get in like here. See on this portion right here? They get in on, let's say right here. Where's my mouse? They get in right here. They're like, okay, it's going up. Okay, I trust it. And then it pulls back. No, this is just a pullback, and then they get left in a loss because you're buying at the wrong part of the market cycle. We're still, and I would argue, we're at the very end of the stackable time frame. So somebody asked, when do you rotate? I can't tell you what to do, when to do it, why to do it. I can just share my strategies and what I'm doing. Where right now, I think it'd be silly to exit a Bitcoin position. I mean, exit, that means take it to zero. But if you are comfortable with diligence that you've done, not just hearing from me or Frankie Candles or Crypto Face or, Discover Crypto, if you're like, I like Ondo, I like Link, I like, Avalanche or any of these, I mean, there's a lot more as well, but, Near, if you like this and you understand what it is, like it's not just I like the name and I like the logo, understand it, like force yourself to understand the things you're investing in. Now, I do think, for a strategy, outline, I do think now is a good time, probably ending that time right now of being able to take advantage of the quicker moving plays. But know when you do that, what your exit strategy is to go back into Bitcoin. For me, my strategy is to go back into Bitcoin with all these alts, but also taking probably 15 to 20% and putting it maybe a little bit, 15 to 30% odds. It's going to depend on how this goes this year with the National Bitcoin Strategic Reserves and international arms race for Bitcoin, if that happens. Then I also, we can't do this just for investing. I'm also going to change my life with this, not just with numbers on a screen of where it's being held. I'll take some out. I'll make a purchase, maybe buy a house, maybe, buy my mom a house. Maybe we have to affect our lives and not just see numbers on a screen, but you have to also understand what your long-term whole portfolio is going to be and always contribute to it, but also take some out along the way. So your life is also affected by it. I don't want this to be numbers on a screen. And this is one step further with altcoins. What do we see? Told, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Total 3 is now breaking out of the wedge. This is that wedge, the altcoin, everything but Bitcoin and Ethereum. Sorry, I'm a little slow. I had a very fun New Year's Eve that persisted into yesterday. Just hanging out with friends and music, and it was phenomenal. But short a few brain cells today from champagne. But we can see this breakout, and this is excellent. But this breakout doesn't mean it's only up only. This breakout, which we do see regularly, breakouts of these types of trend lines, you can see the rotation back down to test this trend line, which would result in a push up. Okay, we're getting a sell off again. God dang it, it's a trap again, only to have basically doing a confirming move. And this is what this was outlining here. We've just gotten to this portion right here. You're seeing right here, just barely breaking out. So this is very good. And when we understand that, others on the smaller time frame, boom, starting to break out, but currently being held at this moving average as it stands right now. If this does reject on the other chart, currently, look at this. It's kind of sideways, a bit of an Adam and Eve kind of, but bottoming pattern that we're seeing here. If this does reject and come back and test this, that wouldn't be out of the question. That would be a strong buy for whatever alts you're looking to stack more into. That would be that. But if we're able to clear this, then the next target up is going to be kind of this sort of intermediary region with all this chop right in here. But what we want to do right now, everybody, as you're here, I love you. I appreciate you. We got to look at some charts. Last few minutes, I just want to tell you, as we start the year, I really do want us all to have better language that we use for ourselves in our head. What we can do, what we can't do. What you can't do is only because you haven't done it yet. Let's figure out what we're going to do. It's never worked before. Oh yeah, before. If you say it never works, you're programming to say it never works. Then you believe it doesn't work. Then you self-sabotage. You kamikaze trade, and then you go, yeah, you see, I knew it didn't work. No, fix our language in our head so we can shape the strategy in these charts by how we're navigating it, so we can fix how we engage and love and communicate with the people in our lives. Let's have a good mother elfin year. Let's do it. Now let's dive into these charts. I just want some positivity for everybody. Bitcoin, where are we at? Bitcoin, boom, there we go. Bitcoin right here. If we're able to clear this $97,000 region, I do think the next level is going to be up here. We do see on the 4-hour chart this money flow. This is the negative money flow. Money flow is rounding out. It's trying to flip positive, but we may have a little bit of a pause here for a little consolidation before liftoff because we do see the stochastics are getting rather high. RSI is angled up. This is the 4-hour chart, but we see the VWAP starting to angle down a bit. What does it look like on the 1 hour? This is on the BitLab trading stack, which you can get at a huge discount over there on that link, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. After you sign up for the 15 days free for Discord, on the next page, it gives you the opportunity to get the 120 lessons, as well as the BitLab trading stack bundled together at a super discount. I got the hiccups for some reason. But we do see positive money flow. We see the VWAP came back here on the 1 hour. It's starting. Hopefully, we'd like to see this round here, basically a reset, and then a further expansion. But it does indicate that we, at minimum, I think we will have a little, one of these a little happy tree, a little happy bush, coming back over here. And again, another little quick tip for you. You see, maybe you have 7 indicators on your screen, let's say like this. It's too much. You don't have to go like this and scroll it. Just double click, boom, automatic. If you don't want to look at this, you just want to look at the chart, click on your chart. I always say click on it once, so you make sure that you're not on a tool or something. Click on it. Now double click on the chart. Maximizes the chart. You want to bring them back? You don't have to reload the indicators. Double click on the chart, brings them back. Just a quick little tip for you guys along the way. So when we're looking at this, the 1 hour, look at 24 minutes came up into this pretty large order block. So yeah, maybe this is a hiccup. I mean, look at this. If this can clear 97.7, I think we're going to go right to 99. Because on the BitLab trading stack, this oscillator sequence on the bottom. It's BitLab trim fuels, part of the stack. The volume gives us these order blocks, both above and below, and the volume profile. And then, of course, by the way, just so you know, if you double click on this, you can come down to, where is it at? Delta. You can show the volume data. You can show, check this out. You can show how much is traded. It'll take a second because it has to load a bunch of data. Come on, baby. Oh, there it is. I didn't have that clicked. You can see how much is traded at each level. That's total. You can also see up and down, basically buys and sells. Where's it at? Buys and sells. I don't usually have this on the live stream because it confuses people. It's too much data. So you can see kind of on each level where the spread was from buyers and sellers. I usually have it turned off again to make it more. I don't want to overwhelm people with data on here because we already do. So I'm going to turn that off. But what we're seeing is the order block, a lot of liquidity interest here, and we're pushing up into it. If we can clear this, I do think we're going to go right up here and test this 98, 870 sort of zone up in here. But all in all, guys, I'm bullish on where we're going over the next, over this quarter. I'm a little trepidatious between now and January 20th because of things that can happen with our political, what's going on until we get the new crypto-friendly administration actually in office. There's no telling what could happen. We do have the FTX $16 billion that's starting to get distributed, I think tomorrow or after tomorrow, back to crypto holders. So that's going to be good. But then we see Ethereum coming right back up into a zone. What zone is it? It's a line that we had outlined last week. This basically large symmetrical triangle. I'm going to delete this because I don't think that we just had to do that. Oops. Where are we at? Option T, measure this out. Now, boom. Let's see, where does that go? Right back. If we are able to push through the resistance directly above us, right here at 3,480, this is the zone we're really watching. Is taking out all of these highs, which also is highlighted by the BitLab trading stack, the volume right here. And then if we turn on the third part of the BitLab trading stack, the BitLab intelligence, we get a little bit more data here. So we had, look at this, we had two bullish divergences right here as the price was bouncing in the order block, this green order block below. You see this, the chart, the indicator automatically puts it on there. As it pushes down, it's finding support. We get two bullish divergences showing some strength was loading, and we got the push up out of there. Currently, let's actually adjust this now because this is boom. Look at that. Bullish. Couldn't do it. Oh, look at all these bullish divergences. Two here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me zoom in. There's two bullish divergences here, two bullish divergences, two more. And the price, I mean, this was just trying. And then boom, look, got rejected at the weekly VWAP. And then boom, launched. Right now, this does not mean all systems go, but this was a very bullish setup. And we're sitting right at resistance of this trend line as well as order blocks. If we do get a little bit more of a pullback, I'd be watching for about 34.30, but really I'd be watching for this 33.70, the weekly VWAP. But I think by the time that happened, it would be here in this basically 33.90 zone where this order block is. That's if we get the pullback. If we're able to push out of this, I do expect this will get a little bit of a rejection. That's okay. Allow the rejection. Be like water. Don't be affected by it. Know this will likely get rejected. Come back in here and then do the work to make the move to the upside. But things are starting to really look good here. ETH to Bitcoin. Look at that. Look at that chart. Boom. It's interesting. We got a bit of a rising channel here. Yeah. Okay. So we got, this is just trying to break 3 of this weekly VWAP. If this can on the ETH to Bitcoin, this would be when ETH is starting to outpace Bitcoin. That's what this is measuring. Okay. Now we see XRP holding up so damn strong. Let's actually go on the 12-hour, double click. Look at this. Everything had those big pullbacks. XRP, everybody's waiting so long for this run up. They're just like, we're not going to let it drop. As it stands, this actually looks quite good. If this is, it's starting to break out, breaking through the trend signal line on the 12-hour. That's really good. Let's go to the 4-hour. I'm sure it's already broken out of it. Broken out, trend signal line and the weekly VWAP, pushing right up where? To the point of control. The point of control is right here. This is, what the hell is that line? Oh, it's a line that I drew before that we were watching. Boom. So what we're looking at here is on XRP. If this is able to come up to 258, a little beyond 277, it'll also be doing the work to clear this order block, and then you could potentially get left off. But as it stands right now, we do, look at this, 4 hour week, the money flow is starting to come back up. The VWAP's coming down to reset, which feels scary, but if this is able to reset here right about the zero line and roll back over, that'd be good. But on the 4 hour time frame, we do see the triangle. It's starting to roll over a little bit on the momentum, but I don't want to say I want to discount that, but I feel like there's bullishness that's coming in despite some of the chart patterns, because there's kind of reawakening the kind of bullish, oh, I want to get this before it runs away. But look, it's sitting right here in an order block. If it clears this, I do think we're going to go to that 258 region fairly quickly. See the VWAP rounding out, boom. Stochastics angled up, money flow positive. This is telling me, let's actually measure this out. It's a bit of a bull pennant. Boom, measure that, boom. Where does that suggest? All the way up here to 282, which would be testing the previous all-time high. Now, not all-time high, but the previous range high. If this does happen, this isn't going to break out and go straight there. This is going to come up and test these sort of highs. It's going to test these sort of highs. See, 260. It's going to test here about 271, and then be in that 281 range. Avalanche, same thing. We're getting the move up with a little hesitation. Cardano breaking out of this wonderful falling channel, as well as this falling wedge that was within this falling channel. It's like a double bullish sort of deal. And look at this. BitLab trading stat calling this mother perfect. This potential reversal. And at the same time, we had 3 bullish divergences. Look at this. It held on and then pop. It's coming right up to test this previous order block right here at the dollar mark. Round number. Once it clears out, we're looking at testing this $8. And then we're looking at testing $20 and then $35. And again, we're seeing that shift in sentiment because the money flow is coming in. You want to know what sentiment is? Is money agreeing with like what's happening? If price is moving up and you see money flow coming out, it's a false move. If this pushes up and you're starting to see the money flow round out to being positive and money's coming in, and then you start seeing the money flow expand, that's the agreement with what's happening. As this pushed out, this is great. I would watch for a little bit of a retrace here, maybe 91 cents, maybe a little lower, 89. But things are looking like, unless they're really trying to Vegas, they're looking like they want to make that move. But everybody, I just got to say how much I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you all take advantage of this deal. Get in the BitLab Academy, in the Discord, the chart requests, member streams, the morning Turbo TA. To 120 courses, everything from on-chain to candles, to candle patterns, to market cycles, to knowing when market cycle bottoms and tops are. I mean, it's all in there. So take advantage of it while you can. lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. And of course, if you're doing all this and you're stacking, oh my God, guys, my mouse is gone. There we go. Make sure you are protecting yourself. Head over to getarculus.com. One tap total security. It's the best crypto cold storage solution out there. I really do recommend making sure you have some sort of cold storage solution, if not a few, to help protect yourself, protect your crypto, protect your future. GetArculus.com. Use code BitLab20 for 20% off. And of course, head over to NordVPN.com/BitLab or use coupon code BitLab. You'll get 4 extra months free when you sign up there. And then, of course, that link, if you want to join us in the free traders group, where we got several professional traders sharing charts all day in terms of this is a setup, I'm going this, entry, exit, boom, all of it. I mean, there's just wins happening nonstop in there. And that is, if you come here, right below. If you're on Twitter, it's in the comment on this video. If you're here on YouTube, it's right here. Join our free traders group right here. There's that link. Join when you sign up with CoinW. That's what gives you access. You also get a certain amount matched with the deposit you put in your account. It's not a deposit to me. It's money you trade with, and they match a portion of that up to $30,500 in bonuses. Take advantage of it. That link is, again, right here in the description on the video, or over here on Twitter if you guys want to find it here as well. It's in the first comment right here. Free traders group, boom. That's for those that are going to be actively trading. Big love to each and every one of you. I appreciate you. I really do. Talk to yourself kindly. When you mess up, forgive yourself. When other people mess up, forgive them. Let's not take things so personally. Let's grow together. Let's be the best versions of ourselves. Let's make some damn money. That's all I got. I'm sending you over to Blockchain Basement now. Let me make sure the redirect is set up. Big love to each and every one of you. That's all I got. Adios. Happy New Year.